Hello. Keep getting people telling me the stream started before I can even see my stream started. It's just sitting here. Try this again. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Oh, you don't like Lyra? Here, I'll help. Here, maybe that's better. Hello. That was weird. Sorry, I'm posting my stuff here, so forget. It's better than Lyra, because at least it's half waifu. Alright, let's everybody here. Hello. Happy Friday. It's not only that, it is... Actually, let me see if I can get video of this, because you'll... For those that are in warmer states, so we have lots of snow going on out there. It's kind of pretty though. We actually have the issue where they decided to yeah, it's still last year, but this is a lot more. This is actually sticking. Stuff before didn't stick, but also it's I think it's gonna stay for a little bit, but I'm probably gonna be a little shorter today because I'm recovering from a cold that I've had for the last couple days, which sucks. It's been really annoying, and then I had to spend a bunch of time outside at work because of a fire drill. And this has been going for like, I think 3 hours. Yeah, it's that snow when it's just below freezing, so you get those big clumps, and they're super slow falling. That kind of traditional, like Christmas snow, I guess. So yeah, I'll probably be running the stream for only for like 2-some hours. My throat's bothering me a little bit, but it's not. I'm not super congested. I feel fairly good, but I just feel worn out. I drank some orange juice earlier today to make sure I got my vitamin C and I get some liquids, because getting up and then having coffee is probably not the best way to stay hydrated. So, anyways, I did change some stuff up with how I have stuff set up. So let me know if the stream quality is weird or something. It should be about the same, but just let me know when it's the case. Anyways, so what were we doing with this? I think we were last playing around with this shot, but this one... I think these are all done now. Oh, well, that's good to hear. Yes, be creative. Do stuff. Make stuff. I'm glad that I can motivate you to do that. That's good, because I had people do the same for me to get me doing the stuff I'm doing. So good. Make stuff. Create. I just love that she's like animated and he's just sitting there. It's so stupid. I love it. Alright. These two I'm not going to worry about too much right now, because I know what they are. I can do them anytime. No, you don't think that you stop learning at any point. I'm still learning too. So it's should always be learning. I got this baseball's audio here. If anything, we can kind of play around with a little lip syncing. We gotta get that figured out. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna be sniffling a bit. Even if I blow it, it just sniffle. So let's go back 10 seconds later, so it's not gonna save any time. It's not loose at all. I had that earlier. So I need to get rid of... Well, no, I can't get rid of this. We're gonna... Oh, that is... I mix up the controls. I'm doing split clip for After Effects. So I'm gonna keep that there. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's not nightmare fuel. Actually, hold on. If I turn the lights on for it. Oh, it's not set. Oh, it's a different map that it's from. That's why. Anyways, I'm gonna get rid of these. I don't want these anymore. I will need Lyra and a Crackle. I'm gonna load them new though. I'm not gonna keep the same ones. Actually, this camera's gonna be effed up. Okay, it's supposed to be 10 max, isn't it? No, I think it's even less than that. That's fine. Alright. I was getting rid of all these. So who do I want to have playing with the toys? I originally came with the idea of having Twilight and Spike. I'll be the master of derp. I like being the master of that. That's more fun. Hello, welcome to stream. We're working on video stuff. Like this. Still here. Oh, okay, anyways. Alright. Actually, it really doesn't matter who I do, because I can just load up anybody. So we're gonna load up Twilight for now. Nice thing with Twilight is that technically I can just use magic for holding it, saves time in animating. Let's go with PJ was. What is PJ? Where did that come from? I don't remember. Oh, Poison Joke. Oh god, I get it. Lip syncing with Spike though. Should I do? I could do Starlight instead.
Lord help me! What? You're needed on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door! Knock next time!
I think... Could I do Starlight? I think I could. Krember is awesome. Good old Krember. How did I get hair bones? Or how do you get... They have to come with them. Like, Twilight here has hair bones. It's just that if you look at it, like, I'll get rid of the face, because that's going to cover it up. There is no bones available other than, like, a couple on the tail. It's tail 1, 2, and 3. To get access to the jiggle bones, because, like, right now, everything's going to be automated. It's not going to really show it, but all the bones will just do their automated movement. You can prevent the automated movement by making them editable, which is just right-click the model, utilities, and then bake procedural bones. By doing that, the hair bones will then become accessible, so like this one. But that is only if that model had bones made for them. Some of the older ones or some of the current ones, if somebody, or if it's a simpler model, it may not have some of those bones available, so we can't really do much. Tail usually has a couple on there too. And then on mine, I have it set up to auto put the jiggle ones into its own little group here. But yeah, that's how you get access to them. And if that'll disable the automatic movement so that it won't automatically move now. It's locked to any automated move that was there should be locked in too, but it's otherwise no. You can go back to utilities though and go to enable procedural bones. It will then make them inaccessible, but then automate them again. But if you did any custom work, it's all lost. So be careful with clicking that. Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking of Starlight for this though, just because if Spike's not going to be well, I'd want a pony at the front doing the talking, and the scene I'm doing this from is is this one from Spaceballs. This part. Oh.
Knock on my door! Knock next time!
So, he has some good faces in this one. But because of that, I need to make... there's going to be somebody behind him or her. And to do that, Spike would be difficult, because if I had Spike, the camera would be kind of like up and down like this, or with another pony I could be straight on, which is going to be better. Starlight Lord of Darkness. I could put a war helmet on her or something just for fun. It doesn't really matter. You know, I do have stuff coming up for Fallout to do next, actually, after this one's done. That's why I have my printed copy here. We're, for the local bronies, we're doing book club. I have been doing book club for a while, but right now we're reading Fallout Equestria, so I'm taking it as an opportunity to reread it. And I am marking where certain parts are that I need to remember, and I have little notes. So, as I'm going through, I'm making note of the spots I have to remember, because I'm doing a video based on the Ministry Mares, and so I'm marking down every situation where they do a memory orb and what was in it, so I can have it for reference. There's a couple I completely forgot about. Yeah, for now I'm going to I'm gonna go with Starlight. I think, is there only the one right now? Is this still the current version? Because I don't think it has any of the newer flexes. Not like this one needs it. I need it more for the for Twilight. That is the current one. Oh yeah, I'll be making more tutorials. I meant to do some this week, but then I started not feeling well. I swear somebody would have made that one in some kind of thing. I'm lazy about going to the group. I really? Because that seems so weird. I thought somebody would have jumped right on making her a super detailed. Where are you? I'll check for something else quick though. Why am I? There it is. I'm like, going crazy. That side twice is pretty good. I like having Gabby too, because now that there's a more detailed a secondary detailed version of a Griffin, it sucks having to use Gilda for everything. Yeah, whatever, I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, I've known the story pretty good, but it's I'm looking forward to getting some of that information again. It's going to be a longer video, for sure, but it's going to be easier than some of the other stuff, because it's going to be longer time spent on scenes instead of quick cuts. Alright, so I need them to be in a room. I don't have the video up anymore. I'm gonna think it's around 50, just the standard zoom. Let's say somewhere around there. I have Starlight. Having her around there would probably be best. And that is about the right distance. Good. Alright. just want to get some kind of a base face setup. You get a lot of emotions if you just start mixing and matching some of these flexes. These models don't have as many options as some of the newer ones do, but for what I need it for, it'll be fine. Let's drop it down a little more again. I usually like to stay pretty set when I'm doing any type of lip syncing, and then I can go from there. The fun thing with this audio, what nuts, is his screaming, so it's getting that exaggeration. So you're probably going to be hearing a lot of the same audio over and over again, but can't help it. I think I'm going to just focus on one at a time, so I'm going to focus just on Twilight here. And I'm gonna skip over emotions, just words. Emotions I can do later. This is gonna be interesting. So first starts out with oh, this is not the right pony. There we go. I'm just kind of guessing on some of this stuff as to how to do it. When you put it slow, it sounds kind of like Disturbed. Alright, so I'm gonna go mostly open. Probably bring it down. And this will be into like a teethy. What? It's gonna be very teethy. So no, that's probably not enough. Actually, I didn't think about it. I forgot. I'm so used to doing the old lip syncing. I could probably do shout instead. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this a little different. I'm gonna go open and then do shout afterwards. I already have a tutorial that covers lip syncing. Actually, I probably can go grin, close. Do like this. Actually, it's really good. I'm not gonna worry about tongue right now. I can do it later. Oh, I can fix this for you. Oh, actually, I'll do this one instead. Is that better for you? Just put that all the time. It's like, oh, that's what the lips are. Lemonade. Fly. Yeah. I could do that the whole time. I just put that in front of the screen. They're one of my plushes, but she's laying on Rainbow Dash. I have a lot of Rainbow Dashes. Sorry. I'm not gonna bother modifying this too much. And actually, I have an OC now, but I made that icon. It was so far so. Back when I was making the icon, I knew that it was going to be something that I didn't. Once it was done, I didn't want to change it for a while, so that because then it just becomes iconic, and that's what happened. So, I tried originally finding that save file so that I could replace it with my OC, but it doesn't now. I don't remember where it is. So, oh well.
You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door. Knock. Sir. You need it on the bridge, sir.
Okay. So I'm trying to play with my mouth to try to figure out what I need. Not too worried about if it seems steppy, like one thing to another. I can fix that later. And because of how this is, I have to exaggerate. I don't think seat curve is going to work. I take rid of that. No, it's here. There we go. Actually, that kind of work. I'm just worried about the teeth back here, but I can hide it with the lips later. Yeah, so I was going to go with this for now. Oh, wait, conceal, unsealer. That's a, no, that's down. Damn, I thought it was up. IE. But it's not just the sound, it's also leads up to it, so on. Okay. Ooh, actually that could probably be nice here. Well, yeah, I have to do it like it's for reference. If you try to make a facial sound and you you will, even if you don't think about it, you're trying to do it in your and with your actual face. It's almost required. Door. No, because it's like sometimes you lead up to the sound, and you try to like freeze your face right at that sound, and like, okay, how do I make it look like that? And it's the best way to do it.
Knock on my door! On my door! My door! Oh, my door! Knock! Knock! Knock on my door! Knock! Yes, sir. Knock on my door.
So there's certain things I can hear. I mean, I can do, but I kind of want to do something clean up for it here. Well, I'm at least doing some of the audio for it, because this is the one scene that I probably have the least done on, so I want to kind of move forward with it. Plus, it's different than just the same stuff we've been looking at. But there's some things like, there should be an increase in pucker leading up to this. So because it'd be a knock, so I'm gonna grab this. I'm probably gonna, can I hit whistle? And I'm gonna have it kind of pull back and then come forward again. Quicker. I'm gonna have it pull forward a bit more here. Okay, here I want to actually have a little bit of probably pull up here. Okay, this might require me to actually use the jaw.
Knock on my door! Knock on my door! Knock on my door!
So what I'm kind of doing is, there's certain sounds that, like, if you think about it, you're moving your jaw a little bit forward and backwards, and when you're thinking about animation, it's also about No, it's not anthology. This is for my own stuff. It's about you have to make things more drastic than the actual motion. So usually when I'm trying to do the lip syncing, that's why my face looks weird, because I'm like extra pushing the sounds for it. You want to exaggerate a lot of the stuff. So for here, like it's about the pushing the jaw forward and backwards. So like like more, you feel like you're pushing your mouth forward and it comes back. So I'm using the jaw to do that, but you have to kind of be careful with it so you don't break it. Thankfully for a lot of this, it's gonna be straight on, which means I can break the back of it out as much as I want.
Into the bridge, sir. Knock on my door, sir. Knock, sir.
I kind of want to play with something else on this. Well, actually,
Knock on my door. Knock.
I'll be fine because I think a lot of this is going to require the lead up, because I'm guessing there's going to be like teeth showing the whole time.
Knock on my door. Knock.
How does this look from the front? That's all matters.
Knock on my door. Knock next time.
So the one thing I have an issue with
Door. Knock.
is that some of these facial expressions really play with her eyes.
Knock on my door. Knock.
But I can have her be in a panicked look, which would make that okay. So,
Knock next time.
because some of those facial ones actually affect the eyes, which kind of sucks, but it's fine. It's good for what it is too. I want to try to jump around, not just use like the same one over and over again, because it makes it vary. I like that.
Knock next time. Knock on my door. Knock next time.
It's a really quick motion. I could probably keep that a little further away, it'll be fine. Probably just gonna dumb this down a little bit. I know this is in terms of what this is for. I'm making a stupid crackle video for us to see it, and I couldn't find a way to end it, because originally it was an idea that started to be like 15 seconds, then 20, then 40, then 60, then it was going too far, so I decided I needed to end it. So because it goes more and more extreme, I was going to end it where the characters that are used right at the end are going to be toys, and I'm going to take the scene from Spaceballs as a way to cut it. So green and yellow shifty thing. These ones? Excuse me. How do you get it to be all curvy? If you're talking about these, it's just this the control stuff. I don't know if it's looking yellow on your side. That's the only thing I can think of. Sure, I can go back and show what I've got so far for this. I'll wait for your answer here. That's not going to be in the final.
Lord Helmet, what? You're needed on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
So that's what I was just adding it as. Even muted, it's still going to show up. Alright, to go back to questions, because there's a couple that popped up there. And so what you're talking about is the floating modification layer in terms of... And let me just color this so that I'm not forgetting what this has started. So what all the floating modification layer does is green means it's selected, but there's nothing done to it. So as of right now, this means nothing. But if I make a change to something in this thing, it's now yellow or orange because now it's the floating modification layer. So I made a change within that area, and I can now actually move it because it's floating on top of the animation. So like say for this, like this is for a straight selection. If I hold shift and I roll my mouse wheel, I can create the little fall offs, and then using the 1, 2, 3, and 4 keys, I can change the way that they fall off. So 1 is linear, 2 is the quick run up, and what is it, ease out. This is ease in, and then this is ease in and ease out together. And it works for both sides. If you're in the middle, it does it to both, and if you're on the one end, it just does it to singles. But if I do a change to a group or something in here like this, it will make that change, but now I can actually move that change around so that it's actually floating, and I'm able to move the change wherever I want, which is actually pretty cool. So that's all it is. And then really, that in essence, that's the simplest way of making any change. And then I just stack those on top of each other. Do you know a way to make a reflection of a model or a particle of itself in the eye of a pony? No. Can you do reflections in SFM? Yes. But any reflections that are done have to be on a static stationary model that I believe is locked to the map. I don't think you can do any live reflections. So there is definitely ways to make objects reflect, but if you're talking about in the eye of somebody, no. The only way you'd be able to do that is you can set up the eyes to refract, but they don't really reflect actual light. They just look at lights that are around and simulate it. So it's not going to do reflections. It's just going to make it look like it should be. You could give it a environment map, which an environment map is like a skybox that you can attach to objects, and it will make it look like it's reflecting a fake thing. A lot of games use that as a way, if you're looking at a window and you just see some kind of static basic look that's unmoving of the surrounding sceneries, it's probably an environment map. But again, that's not going to be an actual reflection, but you could at least set it up similar to it, but that's complicated. Other than that, you're just looking at editing and post, like putting it over the eye or something. That's the only other weather method I know how to do it. Yeah, so the video is really stupid. So, but and in most of these ones that are yellow are done. I just don't like doing it unless if I finish it one day, I don't like actually calling it done until I've reviewed it later. And this is supposed to be stupid and quick, so I'm not actually going through and doing full refinement or anything, which will save about half the time.
What? You're needed on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door. Knock next time. On my door. Knock next door. Knock.
So I'm thinking for the mouth here, the connection between these two. I'm gonna blend a little bit.
Next time.
He sounds so angry. I should like it as it was. I think I just have to take out some of the teeth on this. I'm just going to continue forward, and sometimes it's easier to figure out what I need to do after I passed it. There we go.
Next time. Knock on my door. Knock on my. Time.
Right, it's gonna be a different type of M on this. Oh wow, it just took me for a second. But talking. So it's not gonna be really kung fu fighting. The running thing. I'm thinking about actually having like visible hooves holding it, so that it kind of is a segue to the later part. So because I'm jumping into the audio right away, a lot of the audio that came before that was very specific to the characters in that movie. So I needed to cut to it right away. So I thought if I need something of a segue, so it's not just a stark change. So. Yeah, the map's not on the workshop. It might be on the workshop. But it actually should be on DeviantArt here. There's not many maps, so it should be easy to find. Safe maps, and it should be Ponyville 2016. Maybe not. Sure, I got it on here. Oh, man, I did. Where the hell did I get that? Was it 2016? It's this one, I think. Yeah. Maybe it is in the workshop. Oh, I can show you that sound thing was sick here too. Maybe it is in the workshop. I can't remember. It's been. So annoying Surya, he's gonna find it before 2014. Is that what it is? Let's see if it's on here. Yeah, here it is. It's actually in the workshop. Yeah, I guess so. So, there you go. Well, you'll hear me posting it well after you get it, but yep, that's the map. It's a weird map because it's made to look like Ponyville, but more of like a kind of a Dark Ages, I'm not even say Dark Ages, Renaissance? I'm not even sure. But it's definitely not an exact replica. But what I do like about it is that depending on what you were using it for, it can work better for its grittiness. All my Steam messages, yeah. It's the gotta catch them all. It's all my friend invites.
Door, knock next time! Door, knock next time! Knock on my door! Door, knock next time!
I have a feeling that if I don't bother with this, any other motions she's doing are gonna just make the mouth look better. So, okay. Sorry for sniffles. I'm still sick, so I'm not doing a full stream tonight.
Next time! Next time! Knock on my door! Knock next time! Knock on my door! Knock next time! Knock on my door! Knock next time! Knock!
It's kind of like a Wilhelm scream. Knock on my door! Knock
time! Next time! Knock on my door! Knock next time! Next time! Open my door! Knock next time!
That looks better.
Knock on my door! Knock next time!
Sorry, I'm gonna catch back up here. Yeah, it's for the got it. Yeah, well, no, it's more of I would decline friend invites. Well, there's two options. I can either decline them, which usually they just pop up again, or I can accept them, fill up my friends list, and then have to go and purge people that I don't know. So instead, I just headed that off of the past by just leaving them there and accepting only a very few, so that I don't max my friends list. So, there's other ways that I prefer people to get a hold of me. That's more of an intrusive way, and so I don't. And usually, if I'm doing things, I prefer the other methods because I can get to it when I can, instead of it being kind of flashing at me. For you, which are the most important flexes? Because we balance with these flexes, which ones? I have no idea what model it is. I've never seen those ones. I mean, there's pretty standard ones. It's always going to come down to what you're trying to do. If as long as you have like open, grin, and pucker, that's really the three main ones. All the rest of them are just refinement. And I only say that those are the three main ones because, well, you need to be able to open the mouth. Grin is for about half the sounds you make. So E's and stuff, you need your teeth to show. And then pucker is just so that you can move the lips. So it doesn't feel like just like this. So after that, like I like having something that allows the jaw to close manually because usually it's done differently. So you can get, like here I was using a few different situations where you can see I'm using both mouth open and closed because it creates a different look. It kind of like a forced pullback of the mouth. Oh yeah, pinky out. I'm already out of water though. Looks sad. But like the one I love having all these extra flexes that these new models give. The problem is that you have so many damn flexes to choose from that it gets complicated to figure out the best way to go about things. I like having the options, but too many options can be bad too. For doing facial expressions, it's great. For lip syncing, it sometimes just feels like too much. But I like being able to like modify the jaws here for like when he does the M.
Read it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my...
When he does the M here, I could actually grab. It would be the upper ones, I believe. Oh no, that's the upper. I wanted the lower ones. Is there no bones? I thought it was this one. Oh, that's what they are. Okay. Grab these, move them up a little bit. And we're gonna grab those. Not those ones.
Knock on my door.
So I'm just covering up the teeth better.
Knock on my door. Knock next time.
It's minor, but it's nice having the option. But really, the best thing to do is just play with all the flexes, like, and start mixing them around. Like, take time to like take two of them and see what they look like together in different amounts, just so you can get in your head. So when you run into a situation there for potentially lip sync or anything else you do, you kind of have an idea for it. It's like it's hard to build a scene build for something if you don't know what models you have. If somebody were to just give you in SFM you aren't familiar with, it says build this, you would probably have to go and figure out what models are available and what resources are there, because how do you build something if you don't know what tools are available? And so it's the same thing here. If you don't know what the mouth is capable of, unless you puss with it to at least get in your head an idea of what it can do. So that's what I see anyway. It's like pretty Little John. Okay, this Does this work? I could do Disturbed. Ooh. CCD's Twilight Rap album. It'll be. It's super lit. Like, she's so excited about it. Just hear her scream about it. Twilight.exe has stopped working. Wait. Well, if people are ever curious, because I just thought about this because I saw it, what some of these extra buttons do on here, I could show you if you want, because I know that some of these are pretty useful, some of them aren't. I have to remember myself too. So if I can remember, oh yeah, so time selection detached from head, that is what that does, which I can see that kind of being useful, but I'm not sure. I've never found a purpose or a reason for it being useful. The bookmarks, actually, I think you get the same menu by clicking down here. Yeah. Bookmarks actually have a lot of functionality that you might not know about, and I think it's super useful to know. So, like, say I have a couple bookmarks right here, so it's M to make a bookmark. But if you have a selection and you hit Alt-M, it'll create bookmarks at the edges, which includes any fall-offs. So if I have fall-offs here, bam, more of them. I don't know if there's I don't know what Control-M does, but if it came up with save, it's to close. So, whatever. So, I use this one a lot, the one for the edges, because it's an easy way to make two bookmarks within different areas. But say you have like a bunch of bookmarks that are set up for some keyframe thing you're doing, and you have to go and do something else that needs keyframes, but you don't want to lose those keyframes, these bookmarks. It's actually pretty easy to save them. So you can actually like right click a bookmark or whatever, and you can go to active bookmark set, and this is right now showing as the default set, but you can say create new bookmark set, and we're going to say this is a keyframe for things. Okay, and your bookmarks go away because you have now created a new like set of bookmarks. So you can go into here to active bookmarks, and I can go back to my default set, see that, or I can go to my keyframe things. I've used that before for when I was keyframing some things, but then there was another thing I needed to maintain that the bookmarks for, and I didn't want to have to crisscross and lose them. So you create multiple. You can go to edit bookmarks, and or no, that's if there's bookmarks there. You can actually change the timing But if you go to edit bookmark sets here, you can actually see the different ones you have available. Pretty nifty little feature. I like that one. But like here, I'm gonna put it back in my default. We're gonna go back in my bookmark sets, and we're gonna delete this one. So yeah, some pretty nifty stuff for bookmarks. Is there? I don't know what that does. Never tried that before. And then add bookmark head, it's just M, yeah. Oh, if you have a selection, you hit the bracket keys, you'll jump between the selections between bookmarks. Pretty damn useful for keyframing. So for some of these runs, so that's bookmarks. These are the obvious ones. These are I've done a whole video on. So I'm not going to cover that stuff. This is for your play. So this is to play through the end of your visual range here, and then stop. This is to loop it, so it'll go back to the beginning of that area, and then this is to bounce it. So, sound. I can cover that stuff if you want. These are dangerous yet useful little buttons. I recommend that you, unless you need to, have them always on. And if you ever have to turn them off to do something, do whatever you need to do and then turn them right back on again. What these do is they cause your locking for your frames. So you can see like it's jumping to different spots here. That's because this is jumping to each frame. So you can see if I hit left or right, it jumps between those. I'm right now, I think, running at 30 frames per second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 to half a second. So that's just showing that this is locked to each frame. There is smaller frames than that, but you can get those by turning these off. So now if I go left and right, well, actually this is still going by frames, which is nice, but I can select time infinitely smaller than 1 frame now. I don't even know how big this is, but it's like hundredths of a second. There are times where like connecting elements between 2 shots or something is having some kind of a weird break. And actually, if you go down to the tiniest level, and you go do like a change like this isn't an actual like direct immediate change. If you go down small enough here, you can actually see that within the smallest selectable range, there is an actual change where the graph is actually showing that change. It's not what you would think of as like one and then the other. It does have a movement. It's just you can't actually choose between there because it's like the smallest time frame that'll let you do. The reason I say that it's bad to play with this range is because when you have something recorded, I'm gonna undo that here. The only thing that actually matters in terms of anything that is moving is the actual frames. So like this is going to be a rendered frame. This will be a rendered frame. This will be a rendered frame. Everything between those frames means zilch. It means nothing because your rendered frames are going to be just those. So while there might be bits that happen in between there, none of it is going to show up. So playing in that area puts you into manipulating time that isn't actually going to be shown and could give you a false sense of what the final would look like. Or it might even cause unneeded motion blur or clarity issues because something's moving. The engine's interpreting motion at that frame from something that you can't even see. It does come in handy though, like say you're trying to convert from one frame rate to another. It does let you go down to the tiniest level and move the frame to match with some other with the frame rate that you're working with, without having to worry about it snapping to a frame rate that you're not accustomed to or what it's not in. But so it is useful to be able to turn it off. But I've done it before where I was working on stuff and I forgot because I was working with the bracket thing, doing the jumping between areas, and I forgot that was off and it caused issues. So with that, because say I suddenly started doing something between these two frames, or something, and then it got shifted and moved, and now that one small little motion was off frame, so it wasn't as strong as I want it to be. So like instead of the lips being up like this, suddenly I'm down like this or something, and it doesn't create that exaggeration that I wanted for that one frame. So yeah, these are nice to have the ability to turn on and off, but I highly recommend that you do not turn them off. So other than that, this one's pretty easy. Floating modification layer, that's what this is. All this does, if you turn this off, is disables the modification layer. I recommend you do not have that on. Permanent changes without the ability to back up, not really good. Never really played with that one, so I'm not sure about delete samples. Bookmarks attached to log data is actually really useful. So like if I'm moving this, so like I move this normally, but if I hold Alt, I can move. It will move everything. But if I turn this off, it allows me to move certain things, but the bookmarks will never follow it. I'm going and turning this on and off quite often. I think that's all the buttons there. Super useful little ones. I have no idea what all these ones are for. I don't work in this thing, so don't even. I'm not gonna touch it. No, those buttons are on by default, so don't worry about that. But you should always just worry about what your frames look like. That's why test renders are nice, because sometimes you might think something looks great, but then when you actually render it out, you realize, no, it doesn't. So yeah, just worry about what these. I don't know where her mouth is. Yeah, what these frames show. None of the other ones matter, because these are the only ones you're going to see. And that's why if you're working with, say, like you're doing the lips here and you grab an area and you do a fade out, you know that since I have selected this spot, that is a frame. So anything I do, whatever I see on that frame is going to be in the final. But say I had this off, and so normally this would be my frames, but like I was suddenly working at this spot. Now I don't know what the final is going to look like for sure. I might just pass it right by, or miss that hump, especially if I was working like something this small. I mean, there's a big difference there. Oops, and I broke it. This could be a big difference on it. So yeah, keep those on. I think I have shortcut keys too. Alt-N and Alt-R. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that. I'd almost, if I were you, disable those keys. I don't see anybody accidentally hitting Alt-N and Alt-R. But anyways, that was off. But people like info. So what does this look like so far?
You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door. Knock next time. Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good.
Good.
Sir. Did you see anything? No.
This is going to be a tough one because this is.
Did you see anything? Did you see anything? No.
4 words in less than a second. So that's 5 frames per. So 6 or 7 frames per word. I mean, that's that big for per word. That's tough. Which usually just comes down to a lot of blending. If you were to record yourself saying, "Did you see anything?" there would really be more tongue movement and very little mouth movement. Yeah, the Spaceballs. It's from Spaceballs. Yeah, it's one of the best movies of all time, man. If you haven't seen that movie, well, you have to see it because he's mentioned it, but it's so good. I gotta watch it again just to watch it.
Did you see anything? No. Yes, sir. Sir. Okay, time. Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No. Sir. Yes.
I can fuck with this. One.
Did you see anything? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
fuck with this.
Hard knock next time. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's this one.
Yes, sir. Knock on my door! Did you see anything? No. Anything? Did you see anything? Yes, sir.
I don't know why that's funny. Yeah, the graph editor, I'm too stubborn now to change to anything other than the motion editor, so don't expect me to be able to help you out.
Yes, sir. Did you see anything? Yes, sir. Knock next time. Yes, sir. Did you see anything? Yes, sir.
I could just keep going with that if I wanted.
Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to. I don't know if I'm going to keep going that much after that. But I have to, I can't actually. I was thinking about modifying it to keep it the yes sir, but I don't think I will because I have to have him say the door bit or the dolls
No,
again.
sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again.
Because otherwise it's not in context otherwise.
Bridge, sir. Knock on my door. Knock next time. Hard helmet, black. Hard helmet, black. You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door. Knock next time.
Sorry.
Did you see anything? No.
This is gonna be a fun one.
Yes, sir. Did you...
This is gonna be. This is. I hate doing fast audio. So if you ever see me do like lip sync for myself or something, I usually talk very slow and concise because it's so much easier to lip sync. You know, actually, realistically, the audio doesn't bother me anymore. Actually, it's gotten to the point now where when I'm at work or if I'm working on something, I'll usually find one, or I'll usually try to find not much more than like 4 or 5 songs, but I'll usually listen to the same song on repeat over and over and over again because I've just gotten used to that. So it's actually, I think when I'm trying to, it's gonna program my brain where I focus better if I'm just listening to the same thing over and over and over again. Like today, I think I had 3 songs that I listened to. I would usually listen to the same song over and over and over and over and over again until I just burned out on it, and then I would go to another one and listen to that one on repeat for a while. So that's what I did today. Like for like 4 hours, I had 3 songs I listened to. So I don't know. I just got used to it.
Did you see anything? No. Did you see anything? No.
Actually, not that bad.
Anything? No, sir. Sir. Did you see anything? No. Did you see anything? No.
I expected that to be worse than that. It actually turned out pretty decent.
Did you see anything? No. Did you see anything? No. Did you see anything? No.
This last one I can actually open a little wider.
Anything? No. No. Did you see anything? No. Anything? No. Did you see anything? No. Did you see anything? No. Did you see anything? No.
It actually turned out way better than I thought it was going to.
Anything? No. Anything? No. Did you see anything? No. See anything? No.
I got a haircut. I got my haircut like before the con that I saw you at. So no. Let's watch a bad word now, maybe. I don't know.
Open my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir! Did you see anything? No, sir! Oh, sir!
Nice thing is, he says sir a lot.
Black! Hard helmet, black! You're needed on the bridge, sir! Knock on my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir! Did you see anything? No, sir! I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good! Good!
Love you later. Good! Good! Actually, it's probably have to do. I think it's actually not a shout.
Good! 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 Playing with your dolls again. Good!
I kind of like the eye twitch with that.
Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good. Oh, I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good.
This is...
Good.
It's like the word.
Good, 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 good. Out, 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 out.
Kind of sounds like playing Pong and the balls going back and forth. This is good. I'm not playing with the dolls. You're playing with your dolls. Alright, so I think that should be fine for now.
Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good.
Alright, yeah, that should be good. I'll probably be doing, or the animation will probably clean that up a bit. And I could probably actually even start playing with her here, but I need a table. Oh, actually, first I'm going to save. And then I'm going to load a table. So first I'm going to do, this is Twilight. This is Starlight. Anything complicated. Probably just go with wood. Zombie money. The only thing complicated about what is something with at least decent amount of detail. Because it's going to be seen at an angle. That's probably going to be Mega Pack then. I'm going to find the best. I don't want metal though, I prefer wood. It's probably going to be the best for quality, but don't like how that... I think I can get rid of that, though. Let's see what we can do. Oh, actually, it looks a lot better with an actual thing here. All you have to do is modify one value. Okay, so I'm looking for a TX dining room table. Here we go. And that's not what I want. Done. I will, oh, there's nothing on there. Oh well. That's kind of weird, actually. There's no bump map on this thing? Actually, something that could definitely use a bump map. It has to have a bump map. That's actually like bump map right there. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, good. No, that shouldn't cause as many of those loss of polygon areas. Yes. Now you got a nice sharp angle from it. Alright, sweet. We have a table. It's gonna be probably a bit too big. First thing. I'm gonna view these to 0 because it makes it so I can move them along the even planes with each other. Twilight's gonna probably be sitting. Oh, or I can't select that. I didn't make it visible.
Beat it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door. Knock next time.
Yeah, kind of through.
Knock on my door. Knock next time.
Okay, it is on time. Michael, I thought to you every horse is cute no matter what they do. We're playing a game and one's trying to murder us and you say you can't hit it because it's too cute.
Did you see anything? No.
We got to get him the docky of that pony. Just because now. Because by the end of this fandom, I think that all the main group of people I know need to at least have like 12 dockies. I haven't actually named his stuff yet. I just wants food. Got any food? Give me nom noms. Nom noms. It's free real estate. Okay, so we need to maintain continuity, so we need crackle on this side. And make sure I know. This would be Lyra. Oh, I capitalize the L. I don't need the higher res version of her because she's going to be smaller, so why waste the processing? Perfect. How's you going? Good enough. I want them to clip the texture a little bit so to show that they're interacting with it, but not enough to make it kind of fall over or something. Where are your eyes? Way up there. Durr. Okay, she's a toy now, so she needs to have no moving head. That went the wrong way than I thought it would. Your head is... Lyra! Where are you, Lyra? Lyra? You need a haircut?
Sir, I didn't see.
Oh, this is kind of edgy. What happened with her hair? Stop with the big jiggles. Oh, that's why. What am I thinking? I'm going stupid. Alright. Because the jiggles do that. Alright, I gotta fix that. Crackle didn't do it because Crackle's not that big. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, there you go. Yeah, it's Twilight doesn't like Lyra. It's because the jiggle bones are separate. So when you lock something, it's supposed to every child bone after that is also going to inherit its parent's scale as its new like one or base. So, but a jiggle bone doesn't isn't a visible child. So it doesn't get affected by that, meaning it tries to go back to its original size. But if you bake it, then it is a visible bone, therefore it has a correct parent-child relationship, and therefore will scale correctly. So if you do have like realistic hair moves you want to do on somebody that's really, really small, you can do all the animation to them with their normal size, bake it, and then shrink them down, and they'll maintain the hair animation then, and the correct scaling. Also, like when I did Little Pip in the Leaving the Stable of Fallout video, I had her, instead of making her much smaller, what I did was usually if you're doing about 10 to 15% of a pony's size, bigger or smaller, the jiggle should still work. It'll scale it differently, but it should still automate correctly. And so what I did with her was I dropped her by 10%, and I increased all the other ponies by 10%. So it made about 20%, that's not 20%, but close enough to 20% difference between the sizes, and it still let both sides have the automation without being bothered. So... Actually, if I remember right, it's just turn this on, right? And now I don't even need to lock this. Yeah, that's what I thought. I learned something not long ago. This does. Ooh. That's pretty close. Just want to get that root back to its normal positioning so I'm not confused. At least similar to. This is why I want to make sure the detail of the table is there, because when I'm shrinking them down, I'm taking something that was normally pretty detailed large, shrinking them down, meaning that they have an enormous amount of detail for their size. So I wanted to make sure that the table matched. Stop the bug! Stop the bug! Stop the bugs! Well, the reason I didn't copy her legs over when I brought the sitting animation over was because I have her legs squashed for the sitting animation, or the sitting look, but I don't want her actually squashed. Check something here. That's what I thought. I'll put her down a little bit. So I can't put the aperture too high because I need to make sure that you can see Starlight in the background, but the main focus is still going to be Twilight the whole time. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to balance this out, trying to do the rule of thirds thing. So I'm not going to be able to get this table up to a level of filling a third. Then I'm trying to get her in the 1/3, and I don't really care about getting Starlight as much in it as it is just balancing things out. I don't want to have... I want to make sure this line isn't going to be straight, because that's distracting. But something like that's fine. She's pretty close to a third there, so Starlight now. I could come in like... I could ever come in like right here. Like a side door or something. That might work better. Let me catch up here. No, she's not staying outside. Yeah, there'll be a door for sure. I just right now, this is the map I had loaded, and I wasn't prioritizing that until I had a better idea of how everything else was going to be set up. How do you rotate the working camera while maintaining the vision at a defined point or axis or over the axis? You can move the camera without. Well, yeah. If you're talking about rotating around a specific point, you're going to need two different models. I have some shots actually in this video that I've done that. Yeah, this one was where I did that. So I have a helper. That's what I call it. You can call it whatever you want, though. And so all it is I load, and I call it helper for this reason, because it is a model called helper. But you can use any model. I just like using helper because it's kind of what they're there for. So, but it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to grab my helper model. And by doing this, the one issue you're going to have is you can't free fly cameras anymore, or at least more difficulty, because the fact you can free fly your camera is because it's locked to the world. It can go do whatever it wants, but as soon as you lock it to another model, its world is that model. So while you can free fly it, whatever that model does, the camera is just going to be flying around with it. So so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, say, this helper. I'm going to put this helper, let's just put it on or in Twilight's head. So I'm going to try to get it to around the middle. There we go. Now we're going to get our camera in the position we want it to be. So we're going to say that we want to rotate it around Twilight's head like this. And then we're just going to lock that camera to model. Now, and it's probably better not to be the camera when you do this, you can rotate it. Some of the benefits that were to this, though, and I'll show you, is it makes it easy to do 360-degree rotations on a GIF or something, because you can say that from this second to this second, so over this 5 seconds, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to say this rotation is 0. Oops, I want to do it for everything. 0. And I nanned it. Hold on. I don't think it's the rotation I want anyway. I'll just make sure it's all 0. As close to 0 as I can get. Alright. So then, and that actually did not do what I wanted it to be. Hold on. Alright, that looks better. Now you can select a time like this. Say over this time to this time. I want to have camera do a full spin. So I'm gonna grab this, do a full spin. I'm gonna get pretty close, not quite to it, but almost full spin. Then I'm gonna go into my values here and go this will be this one, so it'll be 0. Oh, this didn't even turn, did it? Oh, it did. So now we have one full spin, perfect, because I zeroed it. I put the value in for it. So then I can just go and grab this. Paste it. And now we have, because it had popped up right back at that same location, a perfect loop. Actually, there's a little bit of a gap there, but essentially that's how you would do it to get a perfect loop. And the other benefit to this is I can still move the camera, so I can be like, this is spinning, but like over time, I want the camera to like start raising up. So I'm gonna go to here, and now if you were to do this on other things, it would start raising up, but it would be like starting to wobble because it's world what is spinning. But in this case, its world, while it's spinning, since it's connected to that model, its world is technically not moving at all. So that's why you can do that. And you can do anything you want. You're like way up here. You're getting too complicated with it. Like if you wanted to say, like puppeteering your camera is no longer going to work. So you can't. If you start trying to fly with it, you're going to see that you're fighting the motion of that the other one has. So yeah. Whoa. Yeah, if you want to have, yeah, you can lock it to a pelvis. You can lock it to anything. Like I said, the helper is just a model. I just try to use a standard way of doing it, so I use the helper as the only reason that model is used is because I use it when locking these things for rotation purposes. But yeah, you can do that with anything. It's not just cameras. You can for doing like a 100% rotation on a bone, you could do a very similar method. But doing, you have to make sure of some things because the software likes to do the quickest way back to a point. So if you have a motion that's over 180 degrees, and you want it to go that, or you want it to rotate 270 degrees and then come back. If you do it wrong, you might rotate the 270 degrees, but then it's going to want to keep going to get back because it's going to say that that's the shortest distance to it. So, yeah. But I've used this before for different things. So, like on for this one, sorry, for this video, and I don't want this to be so big. At the end, I think this is at the credits. Yeah, that's why I did the end bit here for the spin. Was I had a central spot with a model in the middle here, and actually I think this whole thing is one camera motion. Yeah, so right now it's locked to a central point in the middle, but I'm ignoring it. I'm just letting it sit there, and I'm just moving the camera how I want to move it. But then here I started rotating the center model while I gave motion to the camera to be pulling back, so that the manual motion was what caused that extra motion, but it still created a nice perfect spin with the same focus. So that's why I did that. That's actually where I kind of learned to do things like that, because being it's round ground bits and it's and they're in a certain position, I want to make sure that that's spun back just right. Yeah, usually for magic horns, because particles attach themselves to the hitbox, not to the model. So while the shape to you might look like it should be attaching to like this nice detailed shape, the hitbox might be a giant box that's around it covering empty space, so it might not work that great. And for horns, that's that case. So I usually use a log, and I shrink it down, and I'll make it about the size of the end of the horn, and then I'll just have it sit inside her head. But using another model like that, particles that are locked to a model or attached to a model using like where they will follow the mesh like that, if the particle itself is, or if that model is locked to another model in any way for motion, it won't work. So you have to lock it, get the motion copied, and then unlock it so it's just following freely, and then it will work fine. So me get rid of that Twilight's head, looks weird. And the helper. No Starlight.
You're needed on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door. Knock next time. Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good.
I might cut it right after that.
Dolls again. Good. Playing with your dolls again. Good. Dolls again. Good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cut it right there. Because I think the video would be funnier if it just quickly has that ending and then cuts it off. The door shutting itself works better for a movie with a story, but I think something like this is just going to be better to cut it.
Hard helmet, black!
I should probably do this all in order here. Lord Twilight.
Hard helmet, black!
I'm kind of just going to do a rough kind of idea for it, so I'm probably going to end the stream a little bit, kind of degrading.
Hard helmet, black! Hard helmet, black! Hard helmet, black! Hard helmet, black! Hard helmet, black!
Okay, so there's toy sounds.
Helmet, black! Black! Helmet, black! 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 Hard helmet, black! Black! You need... You need it on the bridge, sir. Not... Helmet, black!
Actually, I think I'm just going to keep her positioning up there. That's here. I might just have her pretty stiff the whole time. But not that one. Actually, I might keep...
Hard helmet, black! Near the bridge, sir. You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door! Black! You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door! Knock on my door! Knock! Knock on my door! Knock on my door!
Oh, there's another sound here I missed.
You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock!
Oh, actually, there's already the motion here, so I just have to move her arms a little bit. I made a short for doors. That is it. I don't take credit for anything else in that project. That was all Stan, Digiv, and Frexes. I believe they're the only ones that worked on it, or the main people that worked on it. But yeah, I didn't make or focus or do much work on it otherwise.
Helmet, black! You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door! Knock on my door! My door! Knock on my door! Knock on my door! Knock on my door! Knock on my door!
Use the Schwartz.
Actually,
I think I'm gonna go back to her other pose here.
Knock on my door! Knock next time! Knock next time!
I'm gonna select your head. I'm not gonna do that.
On my door! Knock next time! On my door! Knock next time!
Actually, you know what? No. I'm just gonna leave it as it was. I think it's not gonna be much motion on her. There's gonna be a lot of panicky face stuff.
Knock next time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir! Did you see anything? No, sir! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Did you see anything? No, sir! Stein! Yes, sir! Did you see anything? No, sir! I didn't see you play anything? No! Did you see anything? No! Did you see anything? Did you see no?
Kind of just spitballing it right now as to what I'm thinking of doing.
Did you see anything? No. Did you see anything? No. Did you see anything? No. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. I didn't see you playing with your dolls.
Sorry.
I didn't see you playing with your No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good! Okay. Didn't see you playing... Anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good! What? You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Yeah, this is from Spaceballs. Sorry. I'm just catching up here. Oh. Gone with the Windex. I like that. It's very creative, Michael. Sounds like your type of humor, and almost what got you kicked out of Chaser Room. I kind of want to just do a quick thing with Starlight's mouth here.
Lord help me! What? You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Just so I have some kind of reference.
Black! You're needed on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good! No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls. I didn't see you playing with your... I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good! No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
I just think I'm pretty good. No, it's actually like that's why I like doing lip syncing first, because sometimes it's hard to determine like the keyframing or the motion or any of that stuff until I have the lips done. I hate doing anything until I have lip syncing done. But even then, I'll like, I feel like I could still clean it up more, but I want to get the motion in there, because sometimes it's just, once you actually get it animated, everything else just fits, and or it's not needed to go super refined. Plus, I don't really want to go super refined in this. I'm freaking... Yeah.
Hard helmet, black! You're needed on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
I kind of want to have... like she's sitting up straight kind of a thing.
Good! Good! Playing with your dolls again. Good! And you playing with your dolls again. Good! Good! Oh, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Alright. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. I've had enough sniffling on a mic here. And I will be back on Tuesday anyway, so hopefully less like sniffles. I hope it doesn't last till next Tuesday. And stuff. But I don't really feel that bad. I just don't want to make it worse. So it didn't help that we were stuck outside during a fire drill at work, and they basically said we had to stay outside even those that didn't have coats. It's like, but it's snowing. They're like, nope, don't care. I'm like, okay. So yeah, I will be back on Tuesday to work more on that. Hopefully get Starlight's lip syncing done and start cleaning up the animations so I can get figured out what to do. Yeah, I'm sick. I don't want to get any worse. So, so yeah, I will be done. So, have a meow. Oh, the cat's having a kitty. There we go. Kitty's fixed. And okay. Gotta go. But remember, if you have any questions, don't bother to ask. I like being able to answer them. That's actually my favorite part of the stream. So, yeah, bring questions. That's great. Anyways, bye bye. Have a good weekend. Whatever. Blah.